I'm about to get on some real motherfucking shit. Now I'm sitting up there playing that fucking buggy ass garbage Cyberpunk 2077. And I'm sitting up there like, let me do this bitch's mission. What was it called? Fool on the Hill. I'm up here trying to get these motherfucking tarot cards. And then I'm like, I got all 20 of them, but there's 2 of them missing. So I'm like, what the fuck is this? Please explain to me what the fuck is going on. I'm counting this shit. I'm looking through the map. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Where is the last tarot card? Where is the last goddamn tarot card? And then because how it's structured, you'll get the first 12 of them will be filled up. Then you'll get the next 3, like in row 3, you get 3 of them, then 1 is skipped, and then you get the other, like the last 2. And then at the bottom, I think you get 2 of them, then it'll be a question mark for the third one, and then the fourth one would be whatever. So I got all 20 of them, but I'm like, why is there 2 of them missing? I'm like, where is it? I'm looking through the map, I'm looking through this shit. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So then, come to find out, I'm like, oh, let me look at a tutorial, which I don't want to do, but let me look through this shit. Maybe something is explained. So I went to Misty, and then she's talking about, oh, there's 2 of them missing, and it's Judgment and the Devil. So I'm like, and then she gives you a motherfucking like winch, a dream catcher, and so I'm like, okay, like somewhat thinking like, okay, you gave me this dream catcher. I didn't even know what it was at first because it's dark in the shit. I'm like, what did she give me? So I'm looking through a video. You get a dream catcher, and you just have it displayed on the side of your wall. I'm like, so what the fuck I do all this shit for? I did all this shit for absolutely nothing. And then it's like, oh, then you get the last 2 at the end of the game. Oh, okay, even if that's the case, the last 2 what they should have done was have all 20 of them filled up. The last 2 that you're not supposed to get should have had like an X or something on it. Or it should have never been displayed at all, because it's giving you the false notion that they're still out in the goddamn world. So I'm like, why did you have them in order, the ones you can get, and then the last 2 should have been off to the side? Just knowing that you can't, or saying unavailable, like right now, it should have been like unavailable. Then it'd be like, okay, cool, I get that. But see, this is what I was saying yesterday about side quests. If you're gonna have side quests, let that shit mean something. Don't have me wasting my goddamn time playing a side mission that doesn't amount to any goddamn thing. What the fuck is wrong with that? That shit is straight up trash. This game is trash. Like I said, I already don't like first person shooters, but this is the one game I spent this long in a first person shooter, and you got me running around the goddamn map for absolutely nothing. I mean, come on now. I mean, it wasn't even like some shit like Jackie's Last Words to V or something. It could have been something that meant something. You gonna give me a fucking dream catcher? I'm like, this is straight up garbage. Whoever designed that shit, something, dude, for real. That shit was straight up trash. That shit was straight foul. That shit absolutely made no sense. You got people going around your goddamn map. I'm sitting up here all over the place. Like, okay, because then on top of that, you got all the tarot card missions on the map of blue. The little skull is blue. All the shit is blue except for like the main shit is in yellow. At least have, if you're gonna, the one good thing they did was highlight the shit on the map instead of you trying to like bump into the shit, just taking a stab in the dark. That's the one good thing about that shit, because I hate games that have you like, you're in this big open world, but you gotta find 20 or 50 things on the map. You don't know where they are until you bump into them. So it's just like, at least they showed you where they are. But again, on the map, most everything else is lit up in blue. They could have at least highlighted the tarot cards in green or pink, any other fucking color besides blue and yellow. So at least we know these are the 20. So it's like I got all 20, because I'm thinking like maybe they didn't load up right. Maybe it's bug. Cause anything that fucks up in this game, you're gonna already equate to the shit that is buggy. So it's like, okay, maybe the bugs didn't load this shit up right. Like, it's a whole fucking thing. So I'm like, how come we can't get this shit? But then come to find out the last two is tied to the last mission. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I'm telling people, if you're going to make side quests, don't have them like this. This is, do not have your side quests like this. I on some real shit. On some real shit. I'm not designing my game. I'm seriously not designing my shit like this. Nah. I'm not designing my shit like this. In my games, in any game I make, I'm not having no shit where you have to go around this big open world trying to locate some goofy shit. I look, my games are not going to have you go around the map looking for just like 20. Like I said, in my last videos, I talked about how big my open world is. Could you imagine? There's like, I'm not even gonna repeat it. But could you imagine? There's like 10 things in each. I might as well. There's 10 things that you have to find just randomly in the world. 10 things in each country. There's, I think, as far as I gotta count my countries again. There's 8 of them bitches. So there's 80 altogether. And you gotta find these 80, like all 80 things in this big open world. Not only you will be forever doing this shit, especially if I didn't highlight it on the map, but it's like, if I don't want to do it, I'm not going to have players doing the shit, because that shit is trash and it's motherfucking lame. That shit has been done to death already. I seriously would not have players going through that shit, because that shit is stupid. I mean, that shit is straight up trash. I just honestly can't. I honestly can't believe it. I really can't believe it. And then, okay, even some weird, I don't know. I was like, you know what? People are gonna go through this shit. You gotta, even if I did make it so you have to find 80 things all over the world, you would get something like extraordinary out of the shit. You wouldn't just get a fucking dream catcher like for decoration, bitch. Come on, man. You could have gave me something. You could have gave me like Jackie's gun that he was holding back all this time, and it could have been like some awesome shit. It could have been anything. It could have just been any like good thing that just like, okay, it was worth the 20 tarot cards, but you choose not to do it. You give me a fucking dream catcher. What the fuck would I need a fucking dream catcher for? I just, I mean, even if it was like, okay, even if you get the last two, it will be something, but you still wasted my time thinking the last two was still in the world somewhere because you had them in some weird order. Like you had the first 12, and then you have the next three. You got a question mark for the fourth one, and then 4 and 5 you got, and then is what is then the last row is 2. Then it's a question mark for the third one, and then the fourth one is highlighted because I got that card. So you still making me think that this still out there in the world because everything is already lit up in blue. I'm thinking maybe I'm missing something. Maybe it's behind one of these skulls. Maybe it's one of these question mark shits. And I'm sitting up there looking. I'm like, come on, you wasting my goddamn time. I mean, that shit is fucking trash, dude. Like I said, I first of all, I would never in my life get that studio in the first place. CD Projekt Red, I wouldn't even got them to do my shit. It's just like Ubisoft. I wouldn't let them program my motherfucking VCR. Then you got CD Projekt Red. Fuck no. I'm like, this shit is straight trash. And it's like these motherfuckers never want to learn a lesson. They never want to learn nothing. It's like, yo, shit is buggy as all hell. You haven't learned any lessons from Anthem and Fallout 76. The games use all these old tropes and shit. It's like I would never design side missions that waste the player's time. If you gonna have me waste my time, at least the payoff should be on some real shit. Dude, I really wouldn't have done that. I really wouldn't have done that shit. That shit. Anybody who will be defending that, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to say. If you defending that, I mean the way these studios keep making these games is trash. I mean the payouts is garbage. And these motherfuckers just constantly keep making games like this. I'm not trying to say like, oh, you got to give me the ultimate weapon at the end, but at least it should be something though. It should be something at the end of this shit that's making it worth the fucking journey. I can't even concentrate. I can't even concentrate. This is ridiculous. This is honestly ridiculous. How they make these games. I mean, who decided to have that mission end like that? And just it's just like you just get a dream catcher. And the video I saw, it was like some random dude in V's room. There's absolutely no way in all hell that I would be sitting up there letting players go through some shit like that. There's absolutely no motherfucking way. There's absolutely none. That is no excuse for the shit. I honestly can't believe it. There's absolutely no way, and nobody could justify that shit because how they structured the shit was stupid. It should have seriously been something preventing you from getting like showing them off to the side. It should have been the first 20, and the last two should have been the last ones. And then instead of a question mark, it should have said unavailable. And they should have highlighted the shit in a different color besides blue. Cause then it get lost. Yo, you got this map as cluttered as all hell with all this shit that you want me to do, and it's just thrown in there. It should have been a totally different color. It should have been highlighted in a different color. And then now I got a female V. And when you take the, I was changing her clothes. When you take the jacket off and she has a tank top. Now I screenshotted this shit because I was laughing at it. Why? It's like she has on a tank top, but her nipples are clipping. No, not even just her nipples. Most of her titties are clipping through the tank top. So I'm like, I was like, nah. At first I couldn't believe it. First of all, I couldn't believe it. I was like, no. And then also when you do that mission clipping in, again they fix when V looks in the mirror in her apartment, but conveniently they didn't fix the one in that mission because when she looked through the mirror she was naked. So anyway, so she had most of her titties clipping through her tank top. So I'm like, maybe it's this one tank top. So I kept checking this shit. I kept checking it. So I'm like, no, it was happening all over the place. Then it was just like, okay, let me put the jacket on her again. Let me put another jacket over her. So it's the yellow jacket that's in the, it's the yellow version of the jacket in a promotional picture, that yellow background. So I'm like, I put the jacket on her, and then it was just her nipples was poking out. So I'm like, this bitch got bulletproof titties. I'm like, come on, dude. I mean, the shit is poking straight through the shit. So I'm like, I've been working on this. I've been doing 3D well, I've been working on 3D modeling since January 11th, I think, 2020. It's December 23rd, 2020. But I got into like 3D modeling with like figures in April. And even in my past videos, like you could see me trying to like, cause I don't like when things be clipping through each other. And I be trying to like pull the hair out of the shoulders or wherever. But there's a way to do all that. Like you use collision on the model and the clothes so the clothes won't fall. Like if you don't do anything and you animate it, the clothes will fall through the body. But I haven't been doing 3D modeling as long as people in studios. And I know this. I know this. Like nobody didn't check that. I don't even know what to say. I'm like, come on. I'm technically, it's truth be told, I'm I'm basically in comparison as much time as I put into this shit. I'm technically a motherfucking novice. I'm a noob at 3D modeling. I'm a noob in this bitch. But as much as I've done and the shit that I know, I'm basically a veteran. Like I'm a gifted rookie. I'm a gifted rookie that knows more than the commander on some real shit because I know this shit. I would have been like, whoa, how come my nipples are clipping through her tank top? I mean, it's like everything is a hard surface. There's no cloth simulation, basically. Like how you would do it on here. Like there's no cloth simulation. It's just everything is a hard surface. And her titties are hard surfaces. The clothes are hard surfaces. Because they're clipping through. Now, maybe, for the sake of argument, maybe somebody at CD Projekt Red like, that doesn't happen with us. So, okay, then it's a clothing bug, I guess. But as far as ice, and then it's like every mistake you make or like every little flaw in the game, you could just chalk it up to like, oh, it's bugs or it's glitched. But like I said, as far as I'm looking at this shit, I'm like, it's a design flaw. This is not even a glitch. Like you can't just keep like I said, between 3 and 5 years, all these companies and all these studios that have problems, they're gonna be like, oh, remember the coronavirus? Remember the coronavirus? It's like after a while, you can't keep using that excuse. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, even me doing this, there's probably a faster way to merge these at the center. Or maybe some dude could know how to do this without even doing that. But as far as I know, and I got time, instead of wasting 4 fucking hours on these missions in Cyberpunk, it's like I'm like, okay, this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to Alt plus M is supposed to pop up this merge. I'm doing it at center. So instead of like after that, so you won't have to keep Alt M anymore. You just click your shit and then you hold Shift and R. And you don't have to get that menu because it remembers the last command you did. And I'm gonna just keep doing this until I'm around. But whatever the case is, like I said, maybe certain techniques like could make me go fast, like if I found something. But as of right now, I mean, nobody would know if I didn't tell anybody. But like I said, there's some things that I know that, and I haven't even been doing this shit long, more than these game studios. Like you got, I honestly couldn't believe when I saw it. I was like, wait a minute. I just constantly kept putting new clothes on her, and just like, maybe something is wrong. Maybe I don't know. And then I just couldn't. I honestly couldn't believe it. And I'm like, because making clothes is something that I know how to work on. Like weapons, all this other shit. Like I said, if I don't know it, just give me like 2 hours to study it, like an hour or two to study it, and I will figure it out. The only thing that it will take me so long to work on is like actually doing computer programming. Like I don't know, that's extremely too much. So I'm looking at this like as a 3D like design, and I'm like, the fuck? And on a side note, you know what CD Projekt Red, you know what this game's problem is? It's like they tried to sell sex too much. Like you got most of all the billboards is some chick getting fucked or some type of sexual type shit somewhere. And I'm like you got the snake, you got the transgender chick, you got the machine touching the titties, you got the other chick with her legs open. It's selling sex way too much. It's like just pick 3 of them shits. Like the transgender chick, like what's it called? Whip it out or wipe out or something, whatever the case is. or you got the chick with her legs open, you got the two dogs looking at the titties. Like, just pick three of them shits and just move on. Like, you're selling this shit too much. And it just seems way too forced. Just trying to sell the sex of it. And wow. I just I just honestly can't believe it. I just honestly can't believe it. I mean, this I just don't know what to say. I just really don't know what to say. I, like I said, in the compared to the time of some of these dudes in these studios, I haven't been doing this shit that long, and you could already see the amount of like all this other shit I've been doing, and I know better to do some shit like that. There's ways. There's honestly ways to seriously not have that happen. I mean, you got the titties clipping through the whole shirt. And then on top of that whole tarot card mission, I'm not gonna seriously sit like I said. I mean, a long time. December 25th, 1989. I got the whole Mario. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I got for Christmas that year. I'm never forgetting that shit. I got the Mario. I got Nintendo with Mario One slash Duck Hunt, and then I think the light gun came with the system, and I got Where's Waldo, the game on Nintendo, and a train set, and the Paul McCartney song, I think it was called Wonderful Christmas or something. That song was playing. That's one of my favorite Christmas songs. Like that song will always remind me of Christmas in 1989. And then I remember getting the Sega. It had to have been like 91, something like that. And I got like I remember Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. I'm trying to No, I don't know if I got Sonic 2 that Christmas or the next year or something. But I just remember I got the Sega anyway. Like I got the Super Nintendo for another Christmas, and then I got the PlayStation. Like what 90? It was like I think it was March '96, cause I got good grades or something like that. My grandmother bought me that. I didn't get the PlayStation 2 because my friend was always coming to my house bringing his PlayStation over, or I was borrowing it. Because, see, I remember he was like, he would let me borrow his PlayStation 2 while he played the GameCube. And then we would like switch. Like, I would play the GameCube, and I'd give him back his PlayStation 2. And we just, you know what I'm saying? Then, like, in '03 was like the big thing, like, you know, because even all this time, we always used to play video games. If we weren't on punishment, then that's all we did was just play games all day. Like, I mean, obviously we went outside, but it would be rare that we wouldn't have played a game if we weren't punished or some shit. So, but anyway, in that '03, 2003, I remember my man was like, he got an emulator. He was getting emulators, and we just played games. I mean, shit overseas, like all the Japanese shit. I mean, like, it was like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, these are the type of games should have been in America. And then I got the PlayStation 3. I broke it because I punched it. Even though I punched my Saturn because of Street Fighter, I put a hole through the whole system. Because Ryu's bitch ass kept cheating. I mean, I didn't lose to the dude, but just keep doing the Sendugan and blocking everything was getting on my nerves. And I was already pissed off about that. But the PlayStation 3, I punched it because of the mission, Can We All Get Along, in Final Fantasy 13. And then I finally got the PlayStation 4. Basically what I'm saying, the amount of games I've been playing is extensive. I mean, the shit is extensive. I mean, cause I remember we even tried to like the computer games. We didn't play that many, but there was some that we played. Like the Unreal Tournament. I remember playing that. And then it was like the Johnny Mnemonic game with Isaac Hayes. I think he was T-Bone. Like, we played that. You know, we played a lot of shit. Just a lot of shit. So it's like, basically the moral of the story is, I've played a lot of video games. I would say me and my friend played more games than the average dude who's playing them shits. Now I'm not even gonna include all the Tiger Directs, like the handheld system, the Gigapet. I had the Gigapet. I don't know about Sean. Um the the Game Boy Advance, because he had the Game Boy Advance emulator. Um what was it? The Game Gear, just all that shit. And I'm not trying to seriously sit up there and be like, you know, because it was kind of frowned upon to be playing this many games. It's not like how it is now. Because I remember another friend of mine, Joshua. They used to not Joshua, but their older brother Mark. I mean, their older brother Raymond used to get on Mark as like, "Oh, you a game freak? Y'all some game heads." like I said, now it wouldn't be all that now. But we played a lot of video games. And to see and to know what works and what doesn't is something I know about. Again, I even came up with my own configuration to the controller more than one time because I wanted a 2D fighting game somewhere in 2003. So I remember making that shit, like making the configuration, like what button does what and all that. And it's like you play video games long enough, you get you understand what works and doesn't work, or what, you know what I mean? You get a sense of game structure. I mean, you've been playing this shit long enough. Been playing this shit longer than some people been alive. So it's like at this point, I mean, you can't say anything about that because I'm making my own shit. As you can see right now, I'm making an axe. It's a different version of an axe, but regardless of that, so it's just like you see and get certain stuff. You know what you don't like and what you like and don't like. And there's just no way in hell that I would have had players doing some shit I wouldn't do. And that's what that whole mission was. I'm like, this mission is straight up garbage. Again, there's just no way I would have done that mission. I wouldn't have done that shit like that. Or again, even if you're going to do a mission that's going to have people wasting their time driving through the city, because it just seems like they only do that just so the player can see how much of the city they did and explore the shit. Like, if I cared that much about the city, I would explore on my own. But that's just giving it the incentive of driving all over the place to see, like, oh man, look how they did this, look at this, look at that. But okay, even still, I would give people something good out of the shit though. I mean, that whole mission pissed me the fuck off. You gonna seriously have me going through all this? There's an Al Pacino meme. And it's a gift, and he's like, "Don't waste my motherfucking time." That's exactly what that was. It was just a big time waster. I mean, you got me seriously wasting my time doing some shit for a dream catcher. And just, and like I said, even if it was like, oh, there's more to the mission than that. Okay, but at the same time, the way they made like the tarot cards in the city was dumb. It's just the way the whole thing was structured. Have the icons be different colors then. Don't have them all one color. With it's just only two colors really. It's just the main one's in yellow or whatever, and then the some of the other missions in blue, like the skulls, the what is the thing, the crime report. It's just a whole bunch of shit in blue, and then like the vendors that you buy shit from are white. But there's other colors they could have choose from. I mean, the builders are red, so you don't want red. because they'll clash with the icons. So you pick like a like green or or like a like a different like color, or maybe it will like fade in like a gradient color or something. I mean, don't sit up there and just. That was a waste of time to do a mission like that. That was clearly a waste of time. That was trash. And then I'm up here trying to get my money back. PlayStation still haven't given me my money back because of Cyberpunk. Because it was like I've been dabbling back and forth, but it was like, well, because the whole notion was it doesn't matter how long you played the shit. If you have 20 some hours in, it was just like, because I got like 30 hours into this shit, but it was like it didn't matter because everybody was talking about just giving my money and it's buggy and defective. How everybody was saying on the internet, you could have gotten your money back no matter how many hours you put in because of the state of the game. So I'm like just basically waiting for play, and then I will say this: even before I put 30 hours in, I tried to get my refund back December 16th. I didn't put that many hours in at that time, but I was like, you ain't. I was like, fuck it. I'ma just play it until they like basically like get rid of it. Just snatch the shit off my shit and give me my money back. But it was like, nope. It just seemed like I'm stuck with it now. So it was just like, fuck it. But the only positive out of this whole thing is not crashing anymore. And that's the best that I guess we could hope for until they fix the game, which they shouldn't have been trying to fix if they would have already had the shit working from day one. I don't know what's up with the game industry. I really don't know. But it, I really don't know what's wrong with the game industry, to be honest. Because it just feels like the people at the top don't play games. And it just seems like if you try to say anything about the shit, you will get fired because you raise some questions. Will be like, yo, why is this happening again with the tall grass and 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 doing all that goofy shit? Like, I mean, that mechanic has been done to death. Fix that, change it, come up with something new. It seems like you would just get fired just because the director or the people at the top or whoever just don't like you raising some type of thing about that. Like, that shit is lame at this point, bro. And you still doing that shit. I just don't know what to say. Cause it's just bad. It's real bad. I mean, just be let the, like the whoever it is be on some real shit. Like, look, doing certain shit is trash, and don't sit there and be mad at it because it is garbage. Because it just feels like all these games are basically the same. I mean, just all of them are basically the same. You got the same mechanics in most of these games, and they're all like that. Just all these stealth games. And it just seemed like nobody could ever say anything about the shit. Because the shit is garbage. The shit is 100% trash. And I'm not going to sit up there and be like, no. Because like I said, I'm the type of person. Like even with that jacket, it was a jacket I tried to make for my daughter in this a couple videos back. And the way, like after I like did the subdivision modifier and the shade smooth, it was like a bunch of like dents in the sleeve. So I'm like, this is unacceptable. I'm very hard on myself. So I'm like, this shit is unacceptable. So I went back and redid the whole. Did I redo the whole jacket? No, I took the original that I duplicated and reworked it, and if I fixed the problem. Then, like I was working on another thing, like it was a hoodie jacket, and it got fur around the collar. Did the same thing in the hood part. It was like the vertices and everything was bunched up for some reason. So I was like, you know what, this ain't cool. So I had to chop the hoodie in half, the hood part, and rework it, fix the problem. Even with one of my other daughter's hairstyles, like the wrap, like the bun part, it ain't up to standard. I didn't get around to fixing it yet, but that's gonna be on my to-do list real soon. I'm just not accepting just half-ass shit. Cause not only I take pride in what I do, I mean this has been one of my dreams ever since I was in the third grade. Back in like what the 92-93 school year. I always wanted to make a game like Streets of Rage 2. Cause that was like that game was the shit. And I remember I always wanted to, even though this was ridiculous to do, but I mean I was a kid, this was 93. I was like, I used to write to Sega to try to get them to like, oh, pick up my idea. And they used to write me letters back. And I always wanted to be part of the video game industry somehow. So I used to lie to my classmates and say my father worked at Sega and he was sending me letters. And that was because it had the Sega logo on the letter. That was proof. Because who would have thought about writing the Sega? So people was believing it, like, oh man, this dude's father actually worked at Sega, because I mean it was came to my address, got the Sega logo, Redwood, California. I think that's where their studios was at. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to have some type of relationship with the video game industry somehow. So this has been a dream ever since then. And then finally getting to actually making this shit. And then I never, well, I take that back. I remember back in '03, it was this thing. It was, you take the sprites, the 2D images of different video games. Like you could take like Psylocke from like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and then you could put like um Samurai Showdown. You pick like somebody in Samurai Showdown and put them two in the game together. Then I think there was a feature that you could change the skin tone, you could change the hair, you could kind of model them a little bit. And I remember me and Sean was trying to figure out how to do it. We got pretty far, but we just couldn't change the actual models. But we had all these different characters in these games that wouldn't have been in the game any other way. So that was like kind of like the first 2D type pixel art that we tried to get involved. But like on a serious note, like dead serious, I jumped into 3D. I mean, that's almost like like I could swim. Don't believe that stereotype that black people can't swim. But that's like saying I couldn't swim in a kiddie pool, but now you throw me into the Atlantic Ocean and I'm doing all kind of like backstrokes and shit. Like I'm like Michael Phelps. I'm swimming from America to Africa and back in 3 hours or some shit. You know what I mean? Cause I never built up to pixel art and 3D and no. This is the first time I'm jumping into this shit this year. So I'm taking everything about this shit serious. Like this is dead serious. I take, like I said, I not only take pride in my work, and I'm already hard on myself, but I generally like doing this shit, and I'm not even like worried about um. I'm not even concerned about how long this shit will take either. And just seeing all this shit, it just kind of like it's just insane. Like again, homegirl, her titties was going through the motherfucking clothes. I honestly couldn't believe that. I honestly couldn't. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know what to say. The industry, it keep doing the same shit over and over again. Like even with this axe, like I'm not even finished with this shit. Cause this, I mean, obviously it got to be like the materials got to be on it, but like modeling, it's something else I want to do to this, like right here in the middle. But I would eventually get to it. But I just, it's just the industry needs help. The industry needs help bad. And I'm not even, like I said, I'm not even trying to be all like, oh, I know exactly what I'm doing and shit. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I know I need to learn. And there's some things I be fucking up on, but I'll eventually figure it out and get it. But just the way these dudes, you be looking at people like, why? What the fuck? Why they do this? Why they let this shit get by? Nobody ain't see this shit. Like nobody ain't say nothing. They just kept going with it. And that shit is so fucking weird. I mean, even though they say, it's upper management, which I agree with, that fucked up, certain games be trying to let these shits come out too early. And I even said, like, why do you come out with release dates? Like, don't give me no projected time. Or just don't be like we saying shit that people want to hear. No. People would rather play a good game than what they want to hear. Just be on some real shit. I mean, even though they did try, they was talking about the game would be ready when it's ready, or something like that, coming when it's ready, or some shit like that. But this was it being ready. Just don't come out with release dates. Just always say the shit is coming soon. Don't even bring up the year it might come out. Don't even do that. Just say it's coming soon. And when your shit is 100% finished, through and through, it's been battle tested, through and through, then you say some shit. Just say, here it is. Don't not saying it's coming out the day you finish it, but just have the shit worked on through and through. Then you come out with the release. If you know for a fact the game has gone gold in January, but again, after CD Projekt Red saying the game went gold, but then you delaying it and it's still not ready, that gold standard don't mean nothing now. You gotta say something else. Like I said in one of my videos, like I should have an industry and this standard that all games have to go through a process. It has to be tested before you could hit the market. And if you got too many bugs like this, then you gotta go back to the drawing board. You got six months to a year to fix this shit. And if you don't, you gotta shelve your game. If you spent millions of dollars, it don't matter. You didn't fix this shit in time, that's the penalty. You lost money. You lost millions of dollars. That's how it should be. Or some type of penalty or something, like maybe your game is not $60 no more, it's $50 or whatever every time you keep missing the deadline. Because there has to be some penalties for this shit. But anyway, the gold standard, like, then I was like, if your game has gone gold through us, your game will be platinum then. If the game has gone platinum, then you could say your release date. If we put the stamp of approval, your shit has gone platinum in January, then you can make your release date whenever you want it to be. Like, always coming out October of the same year. You know what I mean? Because saying this shit went gold, people gonna be thinking, yeah. Like, people gonna be looking at your game sideways, because people gonna remember CD Projekt Red. They set a standard that the gold standard ain't nothing really. I mean, in normal circumstances, some people might say, oh no, in normal circumstances, I mean, it's something, but no. These game companies be lying to people too much. And we thinking it's something else and it's not. Like, no. Nah. So these companies need to go through some process, because this shit is unacceptable. In 2020, you got these games. Wow. I mean, all because they want the money. I mean, I like. There's nothing wrong with just trying to get money. I mean, people need money, but you're putting the money over the product. Shit ain't cool. Like I said, this game would have sold no matter what. This game would have sold again. If you trying to get this Christmas money, you could no. People would have been going back to this. People would have bought this game no matter what. No matter what time of the year it was, people would have bought this game. So trying to sit up there and be like, "Oh, we wanted the Christmas money," nah, because this game was too hyped and it was just too hyped for people to care what time of the year it was gonna be in. On some real shit, nobody would have cared if it was gonna come out in March, July, whenever. See, they messed up. They real big. Like I said, the industry, and it's just like I said, it's just not them. It's just the industry. Period. Like they basically be making people QA testers for free. Like we're not getting paid. We're paying them to buy their game. And then it's like, oh, this is the beta and we looking for your feedback type bullshit. It's like, what? Like we spending all this money for a game to get good? Again, this shit is unacceptable, man. And I just don't know what's wrong with people. It was like I said, this was the first game I played, like a new game that I got, I think, since Red Dead Redemption 2. And Red Dead Redemption 2, the gameplay was just too boring. I mean, GTA 6, I mean, obviously that's going to be better than Red Dead Redemption. But it's just like, people keep talking about like Rockstar, like, oh, when they going to come out with 6. It's like after this fiasco, it's just like, just let them do what they do. Just let them do what they do. And I'm pretty sure the investors and shareholders, because that's another like problem for people, is the investors and shareholders, because they're like trying to force games out. They can't say nothing about Rockstar because it's like Five is making money all the time. So it's like they don't need to rush 6. Now, if Five stop making money, then they'll be saying something. Or if it never made money, we would have seen GTA 6 a long time ago. Because I even said it don't take you that long to make a game. Like if you know what you got like a whole team of people, X amount of millions or billions of dollars, there's no reason why a game takes that long to make. But the thing that will take the longest is, like I said, the programming and acting. Because I mean, that shit takes time. But when you're trying to model some shit, that really doesn't take that long. Damn, you know what? Let me go back. But yeah, something's just wrong with this industry. You know, cause even with that bouillon modifier, I haven't practiced it. Like I had an idea. I did it one time a couple months ago. Because if you notice, it was flat. It wasn't the imprint of those swords in there at first. You know, it's just like little shit like that. You know what I mean? Now I gotta try to make it. No. Let's see. Yeah, this ain't. I gotta extrude this. I mean, not extrude it, but oh, what I gotta do? And I didn't click these. Yeah, I gotta make them wide. And I gotta make them even. Ain't nothing. But it's just like I said, the game industry needs some help bad. I mean, playing this shit as long as I did, it's just like, come on, dude. Yeah, isn't this the segment? Yeah, I need to fuck it. Anyway, I mean, it looked like, damn, it ain't extruded far enough. All right, they should. See, like I said, this damn, I didn't even get the fuck out of here. Let me see. I'm gonna save this first of all. Dude. Mm. Let's see what happens if I. Nope. Yeah, man. Damn. Well, let me move on from this. Let me at least work on this handle. Like I said, this certain things gotta change. Oh, wait a minute. Where's the handle? Like, where's the thing? But like I said, one day, people gonna see this shit. And they gonna be like, man, he was right all along. And I'm not trying to be no prophet or nothing. But it's just like I don't believe in all that hype shit. Cause they like when things are hyped too much. I learned this in life. If you hype something up too much, you're going to get disappointed in it some way most of the time. It's not going to live up to the hype. So instead, just set your expectations very low because it couldn't disappoint you past the lowest point. So you already like I'm a type of person that over catastrophize some certain stuff. But in this particular case, sometimes you have to think the worst of that thing. So if it ends up surprising you or if it ends up being good, then it's like, hey, you know what I mean? But if you was so hyped, it would just be like, and it disappoints you, then you be feeling bad about yourself or feeling bad about the whole experience because you put it up to some ungodly like standard, like it's gonna revolutionize something or this particular thing. It's like already have it in your mind that it's gonna be like like average at best, just so you won't get disappointed in it in the end. And that's how, that's basically how you should kind of like live, because these games is crazy. They are real crazy. See, I see what I did. Yeah, I did this bouillon too early. Yeah. Now let's see if it will. No. Yeah. No, I don't know. I mean, there's ways to do this, but I'm gonna see what happens first. But it will still be in the exact shape. No, I shouldn't have done that. Let's let's find out. Unless I did scaled it the same way I did it before. I mean, it's deep enough. It's deep enough this time. And then no, it's cool. It's alright. It would just be me trying to like test out something. Yeah, it would just be me like something like that to give it some room. But really, regardless of that, I mean, if all fails, it wouldn't be a problem redoing this shit again. Cause I know what the thing was that I screwed up on. Like I said, I did the boolean modifier too early. I did this shit way too early. But I'm cool. I mean, but this is alright now. It is cool. I want to do something with this handle. Now, I don't know what I should do, but it will come to me. I mean, because it's just like at this point, if anything, I could just duplicate it and just come up with a new design for it. If push comes to shove. Like if I don't like this end, like the part at the bottom, I mean I could just cut it, delete it, because the main handle was still there. I could do whatever I want to with this. But like the handle itself, I don't know. Like I'm like honestly thinking like maybe it'll be some like words on the blade, like you'll say something cool or whatever the case is, or like I don't know. But it's just the idea is like the idea in my head is out, and that's the main hurdle right there. I mean, like any other thing, everything else again could just be duplicated and just like it'll be one with words and then one without words, or like whatever the handle is, like like you know what? Matter of fact, this is gonna be it number bounce, but it's like let me separate this. Well, first, yeah, just let me duplicate it. Let me save this first, and just let me separate. And so now, there's his own thing, but duplicated. It'll be two different handles. Had a regular handle, and then now what was that thing I did before? See, I forgot. Oh, I forgot how to do this shit. Is it this? Oh yeah. And so now you got this like diamond shaped pattern on the handle. But if it's like, I'm not feeling that, it, I still got the original. And then, like, I could just focus, like, clearly on this handle and make it until, like, even if it was, and I'm kind of even thinking about this, the character that this belongs to. Like, he will be playable, but he won't be playable like the main ones, though. And I don't know if I want to, like, make it like you could upgrade the different pieces of the sword to make the sword stronger. Like you could change the handle upgrade, and then like this little bottom part there would be something like, instead of it being kind of like this shape, it would be like a spike or something like that. Or maybe the handle will have different like patterns to it. Like who knows? Because even, I mean, hell, even with this, let me think. Wait, what is all this? Mm. Hold up. I gotta make sure it's not gonna interfere with the whole. Yeah, see. I mean, just do like a pattern, like with the whole with the thing, the boolean modifier. Just put holes in the side and just have the holes going through. But like I said, I don't know. I don't know. And I need to see how even this shit is. They look about, they look somewhat even. Which one is this? Yeah, these two look about even. Damn, fuck this. I mean, I'm not saving this, like this part. I just want to see how it will look though. And then with the handles, whichever one. You know what I mean? But if I wanted to do it, I should have duplicated this to have the original. It had the one with the holes in it. I honestly might keep that. But like I said, you might not upgrade this character's weapons. So it just feels like it. Then nobody else has a sword like he is in this game. So it's like I don't know. But regardless of that, see now it's back in this. I'm honest. I might, I might. Damn, I don't know. I mean, the handle though. Yeah, you know, like I said, I don't know. But if I were, if I were, so now it's two parts of the bottom, and then this his own, this his own thing. So I could just duplicate this, and then do what I did with the bouillon shit. And there you go, basically, you know what I mean? Just redo this shit all over again. Just make it so everything is easy. This is the kind of like not hard part, but the process part is like damn, making sure everything is even. And it's just like yeah, it looks even. Yeah. And then duplicate this shit and put on the other side. back at it again. But I gotta rename these things. Because now I'm trying to find. Oh, there's the original. I mean, that was it. That was all. But I'm out. I mean, part of this video was me ranting about the shit. But like I said, the things in the industry gotta straight up change. Things is trash, but I'm out, man. But like I said, I know this for a fact. Whenever I get to it, oh, people gonna be copying in the industry. Oh, people will be copying. But just remember where you got this shit from. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm out.